Hello, my cutiests of all cutienesses. It's my wedding day today. I am waiting for my husband to come. He'll be here soon. He's still crawling out of his grave, 'cause I am a zombie bride. And if you want to see how I became this beautiful, gorgeous zombie bride, you'll just have to keep on watching, as I'm gonna prepare for the wedding right now. Hello, my sweet peas. Today I wanted to make wounds with scar wax, and this is my first example, and it is now drying. So what you're gonna need is, of course, scar wax, a spatula, and Vaseline, and your fingers. You cannot work on this wax without making your hands very, very greasy. Now, if you want to stick it straight onto your face will have to be very dry. So I'm using a little bit of rubbing alcohol on a cotton pad, and I'm gonna clean my cheek very well so that all grease will be away. Because I had a big problem placing that on, as this is my very, very first attempt to use scar wax. You have wax that you can use with your fingers straight away, put it on, and have no problems at all with it. But this is the traditional one, the one that doesn't roll or anything unless you're very greasy. So I'm putting Vaseline in between my fingers. I put my spatula also in the Vaseline. I take out some wax out of the jar, and with my greasy fingers and greasy hand I'm gonna try to make a sausage out of it. First a little ball, and that ball I'm gonna turn into a sausage. You just make a slippery worm like that. I'm putting it aside for just a second. I'm gonna clean off my hands. I'm gonna take my spirit gum, and I'm gonna put my scar somewhere here. And I'm gonna have to tap that until it starts to stick. But not to the point. Yes, this is enough. Once my face starts sticking onto it, it's okay, and you can put on your sausage. So I'm gonna let that dry a little moment, making sure my spatula and everything has been cleaned from wax, and I just poke it into the Vaseline, and then you can start gently blend it. I start with my fingers and then move on to the spatula. And like with everything in life, practice makes perfect. And this is the very first time that I do this, so it's not gonna be perfect at all. And I'm kind of happy with how it is blended. I'm gonna put very carefully a cut down the middle. Now, again with Vaseline, I am gonna smooth down those edges a little, but not too much, mostly on the outer edge. But before I forget, if you don't want to stick this onto everything, take translucent powder, a fluffy brush, and powder it off very well. There, Now I am completely full of powder. But okay, that can dry as long as it wants. Now, what you can also use if you don't have any of these special materials is use skin-like tape. Haven't tried that before either. It is like skin, it stretches like skin. I'm gonna cut off a piece so you can stick that to dry skin. And normally with alcohol you can rub down the edges, rip it in the middle, cut it in the middle, work that off with a little bit of latex or anything, and you have your wound too. So this wound I'm gonna do with latex. I am using this funny, cute little egg cup in which I'm gonna pour my latex. And I use that bit by bit, not a big bunch at the time, because when it dries out you are seriously screwed. And I have lost my bottle from last year because I wasn't careful enough with it. Now while this is all drying, I'm gonna show you how you can use this just tape with latex. You can use a disposable sponge, and I'm gonna apply latex to the edges of the tape. And as you see, I'm putting the latex as close as I can, and not in your hair preferably, but I'm putting it over and specifically on the edges to make them as smooth as possible. The best item that you can use to work that off, or even if you do it without the tape under it, use some toilet paper. Pull small pieces of it, like your wound, stick them in or on, and add latex over it. Soak it with latex. And I'm closing that eye because this latex is very smelly, and it gives a very how should I say, alcohol-like odor that goes right into my eyes. So that you can let it dry by itself, or you can use a blow dryer. If you use a blow dryer, it goes a lot faster, and it has to go almost transparent to be good. To open up a wound like this, you have to be very careful. First you gotta make a hole and cut it open with your scissors. I didn't like that part. Just gonna keep it like that, because I gotta do some painting. To make a wound, you can mix colors. In this one I'm gonna start with dark red. Then a very brown, black. Just a bit in the deepest parts. And now something new for me will be the fake blood. But first, I'm gonna paint my face in gold. I wanna be a golden type of Frankenstein bride. Black eyeshadow. With a small brush, I'm gonna make a little bit more straight wrinkles. And work off the lining a little bit more. I'm also using black eyeshadow to mattify some spots in the wound instead of letting them be shiny from the paint. And I would like to stretch this open a little bit more, so maybe I will pull it like so. And I am using black eyeshadow, but that's just a beginning. That's that. Now, so far for the black. Now, my mouth, I can make it more cartoonish, or I can just use a lipstick. Instead of making a wound around the mouth, I'm just gonna outline it later on. My eyes are brown and dark, like I want them. The only thing I want is some black eyeliner in my waterline. With a look like this, you're not gonna see falsies, so I am just gonna use some mascara. Now, to work this off, I was gonna use stitches, which I was making from real metal pieces. You just cut off very small pieces of metal from a roll of metal wire. And what you can do is bend the tips, and you can use those to stick gently into the wax. So you have real stitches. Be very careful. You can do this with staples too, but make sure to file off the sharp tips. And I have never used stage blood, so that is gonna be very creepy. Here, no stitches. Open wound, flaps. Terrible. Gonna add some extra red paint in it. Now the shading and the working off of everything. I'm gonna start by doing white highlights with a small flat brush and white paint. Shading. So far for the makeup part. Now comes the blood. And I'm scared to use it because I've really never used it, and I got two types. One is actually for the mouth and one is for wounds and anywhere. So I'm gonna start with this. Does it have a it's a very open thing. Bear with me. Oh my god, that is gross. That's scary stuff. Okay, and a little bit in this one. And maybe I can pour this the easiest in. Ah! It's so runny, so liquid. Don't like that. wanna have it thicker. How can I make this thicker? I'm gonna try the other. Let's see if it's just as liquid as the other. No, this is more gooey. I'm gonna like this more, I think. Yes, it's more what I want. So I'm gonna use this. Maybe pour some in a lid that I throw on the ground. I'm gonna use this tiny plastic lid that I have here, which is not from this bottle, and I'm gonna pour some of that blood in there so that I can use a cotton tip or a drop. Such a dripping tool would be handy. Why don't they bring it with a dripper? So this is much more handy to apply than the other because that is so liquid. But I think to let drip, this is better. But to fill up a wound, the other's better. So they're both good. I really don't like the feeling of this blood running towards my eye, but the more you help it move, the less dangerous it feels, the less frightening it is to use. So I really like this thicker consistency. So if you do a drop, just do one and don't over drip. You see, one drop is enough. It goes a long way. I think this bottle will go me a couple of years if it doesn't dry out. There. Now, to finally work off this makeup, I'm gonna use a stippling sponge and a little bit either of this fake blood, or I'm gonna dip it in a mixture of red and black paint, and I'm gonna test it on my hand, and I need a little bit more black and blue because bruises contain blue a lot. So red and blue are the colors that I'm gonna need to stipple around my wounds. So to really give the illusion that you have a bruise, use mostly blue and red tones together, and maybe even a touch of green, and just stipple and dab around. I'm gonna pop on a wig or a black cap. A black cap is always very, very handy to cover up your ears without ruining your entire look. I'm losing parts of my flesh. Falling apart. I'm gonna put on something black over this, and I'll be a cut-up zombie. Or whatever. So, this is the final result of my zombie bride look. I really want to thank you all for watching this tutorial with me. If you're not subscribed to my channel yet, please do so. Leave some nice comments down below. Give me some thumbs up. Ring the notification bell to see whenever I upload a new video. And for me, there's only one thing left to say, and that is, my love for makeup is spread all over to you, and I will see you again in my next Halloween video. So for now, bye bye, and I'll see you at the wedding. As the wedding between the zombie lady and the skeleton man is gonna be pronounced, the bells are ringing. Let the ceremony begin. So now these two are joined together in this and every afterlife, as they are already undead.